Okay, in this lesson, we are going to trace a couple of images and we are going to be working with layers so that you can see how they work in correlation with each other. So the first thing we want to do is click on the File menu, click on Open. We're going to navigate to our Windows C drive, our Graphic Design folder. Go to your Image Design folder and open the Data folder. We are in Unit 5, so open Unit 5. And we're going to open the ORCID image, the JPEG ORCID image, and then click Open. However, when we go to open this, there's an embedded color profile, so we'll have to convert it to an XCF file. To do that, it's real simple. All we need to do is click the Convert button, and our image will open. So, we are going to be working with some layers. We're going to create a layer for an outline. We're going to make an outline, so that's going to be called Line. We're going to make a second layer called Color to color our image in. And we're going to make a third layer called Background Color so that we can create a color for the background. All right, so let's get started. The first thing we need to do is create a new layer. So we're going to go to the Layer menu at the top of GIMP and select New Layer. And we are going to name this layer Line. Make sure it's set to transparency and then click OK. All right. We're going to click to add another new layer. Let's click back on our ORCID image and click the layer menu again. And this layer is going to be called Color. It's still set to transparency, which is great, and click OK. And again, we are going to click on the ORCID image and we're going to click on the layer menu one more time. Click on New Layer, Transparency. Now this one is going to be called Color Background. And then click OK. All right, now all of our layers are transparent, so that's why we can still see our image through the layers. We are going to go ahead and select our line layer and then click on the paintbrush tool. We're going to set the paintbrush tool to 3. Actually, let's make it 3. Yeah, it says 3 in the image. And we're going to set our foreground color to black with our little color picker here. All right. And make sure you're on our line layer and just draw a line to trace around the outside edge of the vase. It does not have to be perfect. We're just tracing along the outside edge of the vase. All right, so now we are going to change the size of our paintbrush and trace the flower still on the line layer. So let's start tracing the flower. I made my line a little more narrow. And just trace along the outer edge of the flower. All right, once you have both of these traced, we are going to go ahead and select our color layer. And we can make the color paintbrush a little larger to fill in more space quicker. Okay, so we are going to click the paintbrush tool, change the size in the tool options right here where it says size under where it says brush. And then we can click to change our foreground color to a color we want to use. If you want to keep the colors that are already in the vase, you can click on the little eyedropper tool here right in where it says HTML notation. Click the eyedropper tool and click the color that you would like it to be. And you'll notice that it changes your foreground color to that color, and then just click OK. And now you can use this to color in your vase. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just color it as best you can. And try to fill your lines more so than the lines that are already there, because we're not going to see the image in the end. Okay. So next we're going to change the color. We do have an eraser tool if we went over the lines. You can just click on that and erase the spots that you went over. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and change the color picker to the color we want for the flower. It does not have to stay the yellow color. You can make it any color you want. I'm going to make mine purple. Alright, and then of course you may want to resize your brush so it's a bit smaller, but that it's going to be able to get more detail. But you want it still kind of large to fill enough space quickly. Okay, click OK once you've got your color, and then just go back to the color layer and start painting the color. You got to be on the paintbrush and start painting the color of the flower. I think I'm going to make my brush a little bigger just to cover the area quicker. Okay, in this spot here, I actually colored over with blue by mistake, so I'm going to need my eraser tool right in here. And I am going to color the flower part first, and then touch up with the blue from my base and touch that part up. Okay, so now that we have that all colored in, now we're going to shift down to the background color. And we're going to click the color picker, and we want a light green color for this. So we're going to click OK. And we're going to use the bucket fill tool and just click the background. Whoop. I need my background color to be the same as my foreground color. There we go. All right. So now what we can do if we want to touch it up is we can go to the line layer and use the eraser tool to erase the lines where the flower is passing through. All right. And then at the end, we will hide the layer with the image on it. So we're just going to click the eye icon in the layer panel. That makes the image hidden so that we cannot see that image. And there's our drawing. Okay. It's the first one. It's not going to be perfect. When you're finished, we're going to save this. And we're saving this one as Orchid with our first and last name. So our first name, underscore, last name, underscore Orchid. And again, we are going to save this, but we're going to export it as a JPEG image. So let's click Export As. Go to your image design folder. We're going to navigate to the student folder instead and go to Unit 5. And then at the very bottom of the window where it says select file type by extension, slide down till you see the J's and select JPEG image and click export. You'll click export again, and that's what you'll turn in for image number 1 for this assignment.